Hey guys, Grimnar here, and let's talk theory. I have often said that ranks do not matter. Now many of you have the assumption that a high rank means high skill. However, in my experience, I have found that these numbers, beside gamer tags, is a very poor description of said player's skill. The rank never accounts for how well the player moves around the map, how well the player communicates and coordinates with his team, and how good his individual skill is. These are major factors that are not considered in ranks. Let's get into that first point. Any skilled FPS player will tell you that map knowledge is a major contribution to a win, and can shift the game into or out of your favor at any time. So why do we dismiss it so quickly? My best answer to that question would be that the average Joe gamer does not pay attention to the details of said map, and think that if they can get a high kill streak, then they must know the map. There is a difference between playing the map and knowing the map. Now, how does knowing the map aid the win? Well, if you understand spawns, then you know where the enemy will be on the respawn probably better than he does, an undeniable advantage. Map knowledge includes which areas average Joe players tend to use the most, and so you can better anticipate where the enemy is going to be, again nudging the odds in your favor. And the last key feature of map knowledge is how your grenades will bounce at different areas of the map. This knowledge has undeniably saved many a Spartan from especially dangerous weapons such as the shotgun or energy sword. With all this battlefield awareness, you would think that this hypothetical player would automatically get at least a 25 of a rank. And yet, it counts for nothing when in contribution to your rank. Into the second point. Teams are made and broken by cohesion and communication, as any competitive player knows. There is no doubt that you can be a skilled player without such unity, but adding it to your repertoire of battle talent will do nothing but aid your cause. One of my best friends growing up was an amazing RTS player, but when we brought him to the FPS genre, he was shoddy to say the least. But it was I that quickly found that his ability to coordinate the rest of his team made that team tough to put down, as they were always on us. So even the superior skilled team can fall to the well-coordinated team. And so, naturally you would think that this player that has communicated his team where to go in terms of heavy fighting, power weapons, objective setups, and the like, would be getting at least a 15 rank. But again, this, probably the most important factor in any game, does not play into what determines rank. And finally, the third point. Individual skill with a rifle. Unlike the last two, this one actually does play into rank. As far as ranking systems are concerned though, there is getting the kill and getting killed. Now what I mean by this is say that there is an orb that is 100% lethal power and can stick to any surface it touches. Everyone with me so far? Now you have an average Joe Schmo with said deadly orb, and Sir Ultimate Badass with a highly trained and honed rifle of battle. Both parties run headlong at one another, Joe Schmo missing every shot, and Ultimate Badass hitting until, at the last second, Joe Schmo throws the holy hand grenade of power, and kills Sir Ultimate Badass. Rank system says, yep, Joe Schmo got the kill. Or the opposite effect. You have Kronok, Ender of Days versus Janwell, Bringer of Hope, locked in a bitter 1v1, lasting 10 minutes of titanic fighting, without either side gaining the edge, until Janwell throws a nade under his own feet, ascending high and landing behind Kronok for the assassination. Rank system says, yep, 1 point. That's all you get. Getting the kill does not always mean it took skill to get said kill. And even when you do use skill to get that kill, it only counts for 1 point, as far as the ranking system is concerned. So where does the title of this video play in? Well, in fantasy most people have seen or heard of a flaming sword. and envision that adding fire to the weapon will instantly make it more powerful. In truth, this barely does anything to affect the damage output of the sword. The amount of oil, or however the sword remains alight, is generally not enough to actually spread fire upon touch, nor are the flames hot enough to cause irritation to exposed skin. The one thing that adding fire to your sword will do is cauterize the wound you have just inflicted, in fact actually helping your target heal rather than letting them bleed out. So by this logic, why would anybody want a flaming sword? Well, the same reason for visible ranks. It's intimidation. Everyone has seen a sword, but it would be an uncommon sight to see a flaming sword. This makes it unexpected, like a jump scare. But like the flaming sword, these ranks don't actually mean anything, and those that can see through the intimidation are generally going to play the round much better. So what should you look at to determine skill before a round? Nothing. That's right, nothing. Skill matters and is determined by the beginning, middle, and end of every round, never before the round. Your past victories mean nothing in this round. Trust yourself. Use what you know. Don't think of any player's advantages, think of your own advantages, and find their weaknesses as you play the round. And that is why ranks to me are the flaming sword of gaming. That to me is why ranks do not matter.